What happens when you have two major tournaments in a single summer? Yes, you get even more of the beautiful game to watch, but you also get even more kit design to dissect and enjoy. The summer of 2024 has come with two gifts, the European Championship as well as the Copa America. For the kit fans, such as myself, and likely you if you're watching this, that means 24 federations worth of shirts for the Euros and 16 for the Copa America. That's a lot of designs and a lot of great stories to go with them. Why don't we go through them, shall we? As the sport continues to grow globally, so too does the football shirt industry. Adidas, Nike, and Puma continue to sponsor the majority of the field, with Adidas sponsoring the most across both tournaments, as well as in the Copa, with Nike leading the way in the Euros, taking their slice of the pie chart, with Marathon, Macron, and Joma supplying two teams apiece. And yes, you're seeing that correctly, Reebok returning to the kit game. More on that later. But for now, why don't we break a fourth wall and discuss our first set of kits in one of their natural habitats. Well, these are performance shirts that elite level athletes will actually be playing in. This is the arena in which many fans will be wearing their shirt. Whether that shirt be Nike's latest attempt to capture classic terrace culture with England's home shirt, that most certainly takes cues from their days with Admiral as their sponsor, or Adidas' latest draft of the iconic Germany home shirt that features an illuminated rendition of the German flag with feathering throughout to represent the eagle adorned upon the crest. And yes, if you look closely, you'll see the triangular elements of the DFB's logo within the fabric of the shirt. It's all about the precision and the minor details of these shirts. Details like Hummel's brilliant one on Denmark's shirts that may be my absolute favorite out of any design. Yeah, Danish stars such as Rasmus Højlund will have their name represented on field on these shirts, but so will 1,535 football clubs associated with the Danish Football Association, as their names are also printed on the inside of the shirt. Incredible and a clear standout, much like the tartan pattern on Scotland's home shirt. It's a pattern that's tried and true, similar to Adidas Teamgeist shirt patterns that they've brought back for this era of shirts. Featured on some of the most iconic shirts in the history of the sport, the pattern was first introduced in 2006 at the World Cup in Germany, which is why it makes perfect sense that we've been reacquainted with it at the 2024 Euros, and yes, Germany. There are a few other shirts on the menu for these federations, with England mixing their classic red and blue away shirt colors to get these purple ones, which is actually a similar hue to Scotland's away shirts. It's not just about the major brands, of course, as Macron has both Albania and Georgia kitted for the tournament, while Spanish brand Joma has brought back both Romania and Ukraine's designs from qualifying, with Ukraine switching to Adidas at the end of the tournament. It wasn't just England that stirred up controversy when it came to the choice of color of their shirts. Germany did too, and they leaned into it with an advertisement that took a shot right back at their critics.
Sein Frauentrikot?
Ich weiß nicht. Sieht für mich noch nicht nach 8 EM-Titeln aus.
Sure, when kids grow up wanting to be just like their footballing idols, they probably envision themselves in a shirt style that's a bit more like the classic designs of the past. But that's where it's up to the brands to create modern classic. Nike took things up a notch with their approach to the challenge for France this year. Quite literally, France's national symbol, le coq gallois, which also appears in the French Football Federation's crest, appears this time in an oversized design, all in a nod that's meant to pay respect to the, quote, heroes of the past. In a continuation of that nod to the past, Nike's looked to previous away shirts to create one of the most outstanding kits of the tournament, incorporating Adidas pinstripe designs from the 1980s and adding to it by recreating the French flag within the shirt, with one half featuring blue pinstripes and the other red. These shirts serve as time capsules, providing cultural touch points for fans, or even future players to be nostalgic about. When some people think of Cristiano Ronaldo, they think of this shirt. For others, this. There's no wrong answer, simply different memories. Portugal's home shirt for this year's tournament has the chance to be historically significant for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's the last one until Puma takes over the kit deal in 2025. And second, it could very well be the final set CR7 wears while representing his home nation at a major tournament. If this is the final time we see Ronaldo in a Nike Portugal shirt, when Nike's done with Portugal's away shirt, some of their best work ever. Beautiful, bespoke, symbolic of Portuguese craftsmanship and culture. The away shirt draws inspiration from azulejo tiles, a distinct symbol of Portugal that will be adorned by another distinct and proud symbol of the country. When discussing distinct symbols inside football culture, well, the Dutch's iconic orange home shirt definitely belongs inside of a museum, which, funny enough, is where Nike drew inspiration from the Netherlands away shirt, integrating an all-over print inspired by the Dutch art movement. The style simply translates to The style in Dutch. The away shirt design blends the orange traditional colors into a minimalist look that you've likely seen before in popular culture, whether it be in Piet Mondrian's famous paintings or Nike's famous Piet Mondrian's SB Dunks. You also may have seen it on the White Stripes album cover that bear the same name as the art movement. Art and fashion are often at the heart of these designs. And when it comes to those two things, few countries have more to offer on those fronts than Italy. It's been a while since we've seen the Azzurri at a major tournament, but it's been an even longer while since we've seen Italy in anything but a Puma shirt. For the first time in 20 years, Italy will don a new logo on the left side of their shirt. And for the first time in their history, that brand's Adidas. They kept the home shirt blue, but included Il Tricolore colors in a way that only Adidas could, on the 3 stripes on the shoulder. Both shirts once again feature the Team Guy stylings on the side panels of the shirt, with the away shirt making the most noticeable use of it, placing green on one set of the side panels and red on the other. Again, bit of an ironic collaboration, considering the last time we saw these on field with the Italian national team. Speaking of old rivals, after years of capturing headlines with risk-taking designs that certainly captured people's imaginations, Puma's actually played things pretty safe this time around. No excessive use of wording, no clusters of logos. Most of their designs are just a clean take on each federation's classic kit colors with a few patterns tastefully printed across the front. As always, Switzerland stands out with yet another nice pinstripe submission to the tournament, with this one featuring cues from the Swiss national flower, the Edelweiss. While Puma looked all the way up to the highest railway station in Europe, the Jungfraujoch in the Swiss Alps, for the pattern and colors featured on the Swiss away shirt. European architecture also served as an inspiration for Puma on Austria's home shirt, as it features the wonderfully unique Jugendstil style, taking the flowing lines of the Hundertwasser house in Vienna and placing it directly onto the Austrians' home shirts. Looks like something straight out of a comic strip, right? Well, funny enough, that's where our next shirt comes in. There are few adventures grander than a trip to the European Championships. But if you had to dream up a few, you'd probably start flipping through the pages of the Adventures of Tintin. For the second tournament in a row, Adidas has once again drawn inspiration from Belgian pop culture to create an incredible away strip, this time based on the iconic cartoon character Tintin. The light blue shirt with a white collar and brown shorts that was originally dreamed up by Belgian cartoonist Herge has been faithfully recreated, giving Belgium an away kit that will surely be referenced for years to come. It's a fashionable look for sure, but Belgium's home shirt looks even more luxurious. Featuring the same geometric pattern found on the away shirt, an ode to contemporary Belgian architecture, while featuring the markings of the Football Association's logo, a crown, and finally, the year of its inception, 1895. Football shirts are a summer fashion staple all around the globe, so why not use the season itself to inspire a look? Adidas did just that with Spain's away shirt, with a mix of light yellow, turquoise, and aquamarine. The design's meant to represent Spain's busy beaches, all with the added touch of Spain's national flower on the collar, the carnation. That same carnation can be found on Spain's home shirt, which colors within the lines and remains close to the roots of what a Spanish home shirt should look like. There's another hobby that goes hand in hand with shirt collecting: sticker collecting. Nothing gives you a better purview of the tournament quite like a sticker book. You see the squads, the badges, and of course, the shirts. Nike's created another collector-worthy set for Croatia, increasing the size of the iconic red and white checks. Why? So that the groups of Croatian fans who do wear the shirt will help to form their nation's flag in the stands from afar. Completing the Euro 2024 set, Hungary, who have received their very own Team Geist-inspired shirts. Slovenia, who have their signature mountains peeking up to the collar of the shirt. And Slovakia, who also received a templated shirt for the tournament. Now that we've flipped through the Euro 2024 collection, let's get fitted for the Copa America. Starting with one of the most recognizable uniforms in all of sports. Brazil. Brazilian culture is so much more than just football, a point that's illustrated in Nike's latest edition of Brazil's famous yellow home shirt. Wildlife, music, mountains, beaches, it's all represented when Seleção Canarinho take to the field. Just as historically notable as the home shirt, Brazil's away shirt, of course, once again features the this time embedded with textures inspired by the country's beautiful coastlines. As you've also probably noticed, the badge is front and center on both shirts, something that's only happened once before. The last time they wore it, 2004, the year that they captured the Copa title over Argentina in penalty kicks. Oh, yes, and the font that Nike's created for them, one of my favorite of the tournament. It's a typeface that looks just as at home on a bossa nova jazz album cover as it does on a Brazilian football shirt. Of the 20 teams that have laced up for the Copa, 8 separate teams have won it. The last team outside of the big 3 to win it? Chile. They won back-to-back titles in 2015 and 2016. And at first glance, you may miss one of the main features on their home shirt. But look out into space on the front of the shirt and you'll see quite a bright detail, the star from the Chilean flag. Outside of Chile, Colombia is the most recent winner outside of the big three, having won in 2001. Like the mythical phoenix that inspired the design on the side panels, Colombia's home shirt and stacked squad is bound to capture the imagination of many this summer. Fans can be rather particular about what they're looking for out of a shirt. Most of the time, you'll find what you're looking for in your local shop. Other times, you'll check the catalog. Adidas' first major tournament look for Costa Rica is as bold as it is beautiful, blossoming with a floral pattern that's a fusion of nature and culture. While Peru's home shirt stays with tradition, sporting the team's signature red sash. Ecuadorian sportswear brand Marathon, they returned to a major tournament with two countries under their belt. First, Bolivia, another team who can boast the honor of having won a Copa, but probably not in a shirt that looked quite as great as this. And of course, Ecuador, who is a home shirt that's a bit of a rule breaker, as FIFA's equipment regulations state that both the front and the back of a team's shirt must feature the same dominant color. Bit of a head scratcher.
DZ, chair number 2.
We'll see how that lines up for them.
So, what will it be today? A number 6?
You know what? I really like what Wales Bonner has done with Adidas shirts, but let's try something new.
Agreed. Let's try something new.
Inspired by Jamaican culture, the pattern on Adidas' newest away shirt design for Jamaica features a bird that's endemic to the Caribbean island, the red-billed steamer tail. Remaining in the aviary and further down the list of CONCACAF invitees, Adidas, they've elevated Mexico's iconic eagle to whole new levels, fusing it with traditional folk art to create a feathered pattern that covers the home shirt from wing to wing. Similarly, the away shirt also features eagle feathers, but also the scales of the serpent found on Mexico's coat of arms. Both shirts serve as a fabric-based version of an alebrijes, a style of sculpture that is also a proud symbol of Mexican culture. Another pattern that you're probably noticing throughout this so far, you've seen a lot of the same brands. Well, one brand that's been out of the action for what seems like forever is returned. Reebok. I honestly can't remember the last time I saw a Reebok logo on a football shirt. Probably back when Bolton was in the Premier League or when Santiago was on Newcastle. Anyways, Panama, they have an all-new Reebok shirt for this year's Copa that's far better than Gavin Harris. Adidas' Venezuela kitted out after their switch from Jovova. While Uruguay, they've moved from their own in-house designed shirts that they were using when their Puma deal expired to a new set of Nike-supplied shirts that dropped just in time for the start of the tournament. When this field was built in 2007, Canada got to play host to the U20 World Cup in the very same year. The shirts that they were wearing, a templated design from Adidas. 15 years later, when the men's team returned to the World Cup for the first time in 36 years, again, they wore a templated design, this time from Nike. For the 2023 Women's World Cup, Canada finally received a bespoke design from Nike. And once again in 2024, Canada has a new design to call their very own. Centered badge, 2 tones of red, and an oval swoosh. There are a number of echoes to the past in Canada's newest home shirt, including the classic font that could be found on Canada's home shirts from the 1980s. As for Nike's use of the oval logo, there's still debates over whether or not it's a nod to 90s streetwear culture, or perhaps even to Nike's involvement in another one of Canada's favorite pastimes. Personally, I think it works a little bit better on the away shirt, which has drawn comparisons to another popular piece of Canadiana. Both kits have definitely opened up a lot of discussion. But for me personally, I'll always lean in favor of bold over boilerplate. Yes, our neighbors are hosting the festivities and they would be the first to tell you it.
Hey, we're hosting this year. Also ain't our first time in the tournament. How about you?
Thanks for that. It is our first time. Appreciate you pointing that out.
Hey, what do you think of our shirt?
I think it's simple yet clean. You know, a little bit of a safe choice, but overall I think it looks like a classic.
I think it's great.
Cool. If it's all right with you, we're just gonna finish this up, all right?
I'll allow it.
Appreciate it. Very kind of you. Anyways, finally, Argentina, the defending world champions. Messi's felt a whole lot closer to home for North Americans after his move to MLS. And much like with Inter Miami shirts, you're gonna see a whole lot of people coming out of the bushes wearing the classic white and blue. Adidas has added a gold badge of their own to go along with the FIFA World Cup winners badge. Class touch to mark Argentina's golden achievement. Argentina's away kit may seem like a continuation of using a darker shade of blue as the nation's second shirt of choice, but when you see the shirt with the shorts, new pattern begins to take shape. So that's just about every shirt that you're going to see on field this summer. As for which you'll see more off of the field, well, that might be down to the designs, where you live, or more likely, who wins. So which shirt do you like? Which shirt do you love? I'm not gonna bother asking which shirt you didn't like, because I know you're probably already typing it down there. And yes, dude.
Aren't you gonna ask me which shirt I like best?
No.
USA!